Alright, so as a proud Kurobot, I finally took the plunge. I played Punishing Gray Raven for the first time, and let me tell you, this game does not hold your hand. I went in completely blind, no guides, no research, just me, chat, and pure chaos. It was like being thrown into the deep end of a pool, except the pool is on fire and the lifeguards are just laughing at you. With that being said, the PGR community was super welcoming. Maybe it's because I'm already deep in the Wuthering Waves and Kuro Games community, but people were actually excited to help me. Usually when you're new to a game, veteran players either ignore you or haze you like it's an initiation ritual. But in this case, it felt like I walked into a family gathering where everyone wanted to feed me. Except instead of food, it was advice, build recommendation, and backseating. In a good way, of course, I asked for it. Hold dodge, let go, then hold attack. Holy f***! That was so cool! And in my opinion, this might be the best time to start playing PGR right now. Punishing Gray Raven Global is catching up to CN, and that means everything is sped up 3x. The leveling, the farming, the rewards, they even cranked up the black card subscription, which, you know, you can get more pulls faster. So I boot up the game and start playing, and within the first 2 hours, I'm already level 35. I'm not even kidding. I jumped from like level 9 to level 35 from the experience I was getting. In most gacha games, hitting that kind of level early on is kind of impossible, or requires you to sell your soul. But right now in PGR, they're just handing it to you like a free sample at Costco. At this point, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following chat's advice and throwing my characters into fights. Every few minutes, the game would hit me with a new mechanic and I would just, you know, nod along like I understood what was happening. Meanwhile, my inventory was filling up with cogs, memories, and a bunch of other stuff that I pretended to understand. Wait, I can get aura in this game? Chat, should I aura farm? At the current moment of playing, I have 3 S-tier characters, and we are getting to that later, but I want to say that the game hands you so many rewards that you feel insanely strong right from the start. It's like starting a new RPG, but instead of a wooden spoon, they give you a machine gun and wish you luck. But don't get me wrong, this speed up doesn't mean the game is easy. If anything, it just means you're allowed to face actual difficulty way faster than usual, and considering how intense the combat system is, that is a whole other conversation. This video is sponsored by Tokyo Treat. Thank you, Tokyo Treat, for sending me this amazing snack box all the way from Japan. I can't wait to dive into it and share this experience with you. Check this out. This is the new Tokyo Treat snack box. And just look at how vibrant and fun the design is. It is already making me so excited about what's inside. Let's open it up and see what surprises we've got. Tokyo Treat brings exclusive Japanese snacks straight into your doorstep. From limited edition Kit Kats to unique Japanese chips, drinks, and seasonal treats. It's like having a little piece of Japan delivered straight into your home. Each Tokyo Treat box comes with this cultural guidebook, which gives you all of the details about the snacks, their ingredients, and even fun facts about Japanese culture. It's such a thoughtful addition that makes the experience even more immersive. Alright, let's start with the Kit Kats. These are always a highlight in the Tokyo Treat box, and this one does not disappoint. The flavor is so unique, it's sweet but with a subtle complexity. The chocolate is creamy and there's this hint of like, I feel like I was eating a cake, and it's so different from regular Kit Kats. I love how Japan always manages to innovate with these. Next up, we got the Hokkaido smoked butter chips. Oh wow, these are incredible. You can definitely taste that buttery richness, and the smoky flavor adds such savory depth. They're crispy and light but packed with flavor. It's like a gourmet snack in chip form. I just can't stop eating it, dude. I could seriously eat the whole bag in one sitting. Now for the Ghana premium chocolate. This is pure indulgence. The chocolate is velvety smooth and it melts in your mouth perfectly. It's rich but not overwhelming, with a deep cocoa flavor and just the right amount of sweetness. It feels like a luxury treat and I can't get enough of it. Finally, we got this adorable fish-shaped snack from Meito. It's so light and airy, with a crisp biscuit exterior and a sweet chocolate feeling. The texture is pretty satisfying as well. It's like biting into a cloud, and the flavor is sweet without being too heavy, making it such a fun and tasty treat. I love how Tokyo Treat introduces you to such unique and delicious Japanese snacks. This box is perfect for anyone who loves trying new things or just has a curiosity about Japanese culture. It's also a fantastic gift idea for friends and family. If you're ready to experience Japan from the comfort of your own home, grab your own Tokyo Treat box box. For coupon code, you can use code Glaivekiyo for $5 off on your first Tokyo Treat box. Again, code Glaivekiyo for $5 off for your first Tokyo Treat box. Use the link in the description below and don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to treat yourself or a loved one. So here's the thing about PGR Story. It's basically a visual novel. I skipped most of the story, and before you call me a filthy casual, oh, my favorite lore skipper, let me remind you, even chat told me to skip. That's how you know something's a little bit rough. Apparently, the early story, which is chapter 1 to 8, is just endless world building, sprinkled with enough sci-fi jargon to make your head spin. It's like they tried to do a low-budget Detroit Become Human, but with extra layers of confusion and a lot of Nier Automata references. But to be fair, I do appreciate one thing. Unlike a lot of gacha games that trap you in endless text boxes, PGR actually lets you play between story acts. Instead of just sitting there reading, you actually do something every few scenes. It's like an underrated feature nowadays. And honestly, more games should do this. And then there's Hidden Mode, where you get to play as bosses. I won't lie, this was hilarious. Except it's a little underwhelming. I was expecting to feel like some overpowered raid boss, but instead it was just, you know, kind of meh. I was pushing one button and everyone dies. I guess that's how strong I was, but maybe it gets better later. But for now, it's more funny than fun. I want it to be a lot of characters in PGR. And this character is definitely not one of them. One small nitpick, the story costs serum. Yeah, energy. The newest chapters don't cost anything, so why not just make everything free? I get that serum is plentiful, and leveling up refills it, and you get free from like dailies, but it still feels weird having to spend resources just to read. Oh, and did I mention it was unvoiced? Yeah, it has no voice acting. I had to do my own voice acting for that. Just as I thought. If we run out of serum, Commander, your human body will not be able to survive here. But hey, chat swore to me that the story gets better around chapter 9, so until then, I'll just nod along, pretend I know what's happening, and hope that at some point, all of this starts making sense. My first thought when I got into combat, there is so much things happening on my screen, I don't know if I should be amazed or terrified. Like genuinely, I hit one button and suddenly the character pulls like what seems to be a black hole and just chunks it on the enemy. It's like I'm not meant to see the enemy at all, and you know what? I don't even understand at this point. It's the kind of sensory overload that makes your brain short circuit for a second before you realize, wait, this is actually kind of sick. That is f***ing awesome. One thing that stood out immediately, the HP bars. Not just one, but multiple layers of HP stacked on top of each other. At first, I thought there's no way I'm breaking through all that, right? But then I mashed buttons, because let's be real, I have no idea what I'm doing, and a huge chunk of meat disappeared.
This is me, an Asian in the all-you-can-eat buffet, and I'm trying to make my money worth. Starting off by eating a huge chunk of meat in one go.
Suddenly, it wasn't scary, it was satisfying. It made me want to learn how to play these characters well, because I feel like there's something deeply rewarding about watching a giant bar shrink rapidly because you pulled off the right moves. Now, as cool as combat feels, it's a lot to take in at first. You've got dodges, orbs, pings, QTE, ultimates, and some system that sounds like a skill issue waiting to happen, but after a few hours, things start to click, and when it does, it feels incredible. That being said, the UI is something else. Small icons, cluttered menus, and so many numbers that it looks like I accidentally opened a stock market tracker. I get that it's a deep system, but damn, I feel like I need a user manual just to navigate character building. Right now, my strategy is just whatever chat told me to do. If it works though. And apparently there is something funny about Vera. Every time she showed up on screen, chat lost its collective mind. I swear, it was like someone opened the gates to a dog shelter. People barking, howling, practically foaming at the mouth. They were like woof woof woof. And at this point, I think half of you need obedience training. Yep.
Look at that latte art of a puppy. Did you think I'd like it? Fine. You pass as a servant. Barely. That puppy wasn't just latte art, was it? Commandant, do you want to be my pet?
Now, as much as I've been having fun, PGR is not without its flaws. And oh boy, let's talk about these tutorials. When I started, I was expecting some sort of interactive guide, maybe a quick demo on how things work. We do have that in combat tutorials, but other things, not so much. We got hit with the PowerPoint presentation. You know it's bad when I'm sitting here thinking, man, I'd actually rather have Wuthering Waves launch Yang Yang read this to me. And that is a really low bar.
It could be dangerous for you. Okay. 𝗖𝗽 and I will wear these black flowers and go look for members of the Black Shores in the city.
I get that they want to explain everything, but bombarding me with slides like I'm in a corporate meeting isn't the way. And then there's the skill descriptions. I don't know who wrote these, but half of the time, I feel like I'm trying to decipher an ancient prophecy. So I think I will try to watch Rexlent or Spyro2B for these tutorials, and you know, shout out for those dudes for basically being the PGR Wikipedia. And let's talk about weapons. There are too many, got too many. And while I appreciate variety, I have no idea what half of these even do. Do I just pick the one that looks the coolest? Because that's where I am right now. As for monetization, a battle pass is straight up not worth it. Apparently it lacks value because of the sync with the CN part of the game, and for a gacha game, that is a big problem. If I'm going to spend money, I'd like at least a solid return. Alright, now let's talk money. Skins in PGR are expensive, like unreasonably expensive. You know how in most gacha games, skins are usually just a flat purchase? PGR said, yeah, we have flat purchase for skins, but wouldn't it be a great idea if we put them on a gacha banner? Now the good news is that free-to-play players can still get skins through events and grinding, but the bad news, they cost more than your average gacha skin. And that is saying something because we all know gacha skins are already kind of overpriced. That being said, everything else in the game is surprisingly cheap. So I guess this is the trade-off. Low-cost gameplay, high-cost cosmetics. It's not the worst system, but it does mean that if you want that premium PNG drip, you better be ready to cuff it up. At the end of the day, just buy skins if you can afford them. If you're out here skipping meals just to flex in game, please reconsider your life choices. So after eating a huge chunk of meat in the buffet of Punishing Gray Raven, the big question is, should you play it? Well, if you love fast-paced, skill-based combat and can push through a rough start, then yeah, it's worth trying. The gameplay is genuinely fun and rewarding, but I won't lie to you, the UI is kinda cluttered. The tutorials feel like homework and the early story pacing is questionable at best. It is a bit of an uphill climb at first, but once you get past the confusion and information overload, you'll start seeing why people love this game. And right now, honestly, is the best time to start. With 3 times rewards, faster leveling, and easier grind to catch up to CN, you'll be progressing at speeds that almost feels illegal. Yeah, seriously, it shouldn't be possible. As for me, will I keep playing? Yeah, obviously. I need to see just how deep the Vera barking rabbit hole goes.